Have you ever felt stuck, unable to truly express yourself because limitations in your English? Have you ever been cut off while speaking simply because people couldn't wait for you to finish? Grade 7, I got 28 out of 100 for my English entrance exam. My teacher had to call my mom and ask what's going on with this girl. This is to show my humble, if not crazy low beginning. And if I can do it, you can do it too. In this video, I listed 3 things that native speakers do better and a practical daily plan for you to practice watching Friends. The first thing that native speakers do better is they use liaisons, which refers to the linking of sounds between words to create a natural and smoother flow in speech. Native speakers apply it without even knowing it. There are a few types of liaisons. However, the most critical one that makes all the difference is the consonant plus vowel link. For example, instead of saying turn it off, native speakers would say turn it off. Instead of saying pick it up, they would say pick it up. Without saying move on, they would say move on. Stand up? No. Stand up. Here's the time that we watch Friends together. Here comes 10 seconds of an episode.
Would you let it go? It's not that big a deal.
Not that big a deal? It's amazing, okay? You just reach in there's one little maneuver and bam, a bra, right out the sleeve.
In this 10-second video, there are so many liaisons I spotted. For example, would you let it go? Not that big a deal. Reaching right out. Now we know all the linking sounds, all these liaisons. How do we practice them? By watching Friends. Here comes my technique. I applied a technique called shadow reading, aka shadowing, which refers to listening carefully and mimic and repeat the words and the tone and the pronunciation out as much as possible. And it needs to be in sync. Immediately you'll repeat it out. Now watch me do it. Don't laugh because this is gonna be silly.
Would you let it go? It's not that big a deal.
Not that big a deal. It's amazing.
It's amazing, okay?
You just reach in there, there's one little maneuver
and bam, a bra
right out
the sleeve. That's me. If you can't follow it at the beginning, it's okay. You can lower it to 75% of the speed. And the more you practice, the better you will get at it. Then you can put it back to the normal speed. The second thing I spotted native speakers do differently is the tone, especially in American English. The first one is a rising intonation, which is usually for questions. For example, seriously? You see how the tone goes up? Seriously? Goes up. Second one is a falling intonation, which is usually for statement. For example, I'm serious. I'm serious. Seriously? I'm serious. You see how the tone goes? And the third one is a rising and falling intonation. I know, sounds a little bit like a roller coaster. Usually to express emotions. For example, that's amazing. You see, amazing. Native speakers also put a stress on things to emphasize what they want to express. For example, I didn't say you stole that book. The emphasis is on I didn't say it. Someone else said it. Let me switch it. I didn't say you stole that book. I may say someone else stole it. I didn't say you stole that book. You see the emphasis on you instead of I. We can also practice the tone with Friends, and that's my favorite part. Here comes the same episode.
All right, as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing a guy can do that even comes close. Am I right here?
Oh, come on. You guys can pee standing up.
We can? Okay, I'm trying that.
You notice how Ross said there's nothing a guy can do, and he put that stress on nothing. Means like, no, not even a thing, my friend, not even one. And he also said, am I right? Am I right? That's a question mark. So that's a rising intonation right there. Rachel also said, come on. There she puts a stress on the word, and it's also a falling intonation because it's a statement. And Chandler, he always has this funny tone, but he said we can, and that's a question mark. That's why it's a rising intonation. If you say yes, we can, that's a statement, and there you would have a falling intonation. The third thing you can pick up with watching Friends is the American culture. It's so important to know at least a little bit of the culture. Then when you talk to people, you sound a bit more like the native. You will get what they're trying to reference. You will get the humor better. You will get the jokes better. Friends does a great job creating that daily conversation scenes. For example, ordering coffee and chatting with friends at a cafe and chatting with friends at home and all the troubles that you go through in a daily life. You don't have to be physically in the States to absorb that. Compared to the other TV shows like The Big Bang, it's gonna be great if you're a biology or chemistry major. Friends does a really good job for it to be a bit more conversational and daily scenes. The best part about watching Friends is to understand sarcasm, which is a big part of the American humor. Sarcasm refers to addressing the opposite in a mocking way. For example, "Oh great, another Monday, just my favorite day of the week." That's sarcasm, and it's commonly used in American humor. Knowing that you will get the jokes from people. From my case, I need people to understand how funny I am, because I am 10 times funnier in my native. If people can get that, huge loss on you. And lastly, I've made this daily plan because I like to plan. And it's a daily 10-minute plan for you to practice it with friends. The first thing is to pick a 1-minute video out of an episode. Then use the first 3 minutes to watch and understand the content. Write down and look up words if you need to and write down the vocabularies. Use the next 4 minutes to shadow read with subtitles on. Mimic the tone and the pronunciation as much as possible. Then use the last 3 minutes to shadow read without subtitles. This way you get to train your ear and you get to listen carefully and mimic the tone and repeat immediately in sync. If you have additional 5 minutes in your day, then I highly recommend write down all the liaisons in that minute video and practice them, read them out loud. Down in the video description, I've added a list for common liaisons for you to practice. I've also added that daily plan right in there. If you found it helpful, please subscribe to show me some support so I can make more videos like this in the future. If you're interested in my studying tips that help me going from an F student to a straight A student, subscribe and stay tuned. Bye!